Steve Dotto here for LearnNowBC. Let's take a look at one of the really powerful, surprisingly powerful tools within Google Drive, which is the Google Form tool. With the Form tool, we can create forms that we can email to people or they can fill in by visiting our website. And the cool part of the online forms is as people fill them in, when they save the form, all of the information is brought into a central spreadsheet or database for us so we don't have to manually enter it. Very powerful, and has applications right across the board. But for education, it's really found a sweet spot. Let me show you how it works. All you do is you go into in your Google account and go in and create a new form. When you create a form, you're brought into a rather austere interface that doesn't really tell you too much. It might be a little bit intimidating at first because it's so Spartan, but as you start to fill in your questions and your information, it will flesh out. You, of course, give the form a name, you can include some text. It's always good with any form to include instructional text, and then you start building your list of questions. Now, the question type here is important because we can have just the question being a text, so that people say your name, and that's going to be a text question. We can ask them to enter a paragraph, multiple choice checkboxes, choose from a list. So we've got lots of different options for structuring the type of data that we want to collect. I've got a form that I've already started, so let me show you that, and because it'll be a little bit quicker than me entering all of the data. Here's a little theater sign-up form that I created. Say there's a theater club or a drama club within a school, and they want people to sign up, and they want to collect all that information, but they don't want to manually enter it. So here they've set up a form saying, thank you for your interest, please fill in the form, give us your name, your homeroom, what you're interested in being, and we can now add another question if we want. And I'm going to click here and I'm going to edit this question and create a new question. And I'm going to ask them availability. And the question is going to be multiple choice. And we're going to say that this club meets Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We'll put Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. There we go. And once that's done, I click done, and now we've created another question. Once you've created your form, it looks, as I said, kind of rather austere. This is how it's going to look when it's shipped to people. You can dress it up by adding a theme. This is a kind of a fun way to do things to make it look a little more welcoming and friendly. So you can make it look, oh, let's choose a book classic form for it. There we go. So that's how it's going to look. Theater sign-up form. Now it looks very elegant, don't you think? But so this is just the view that people are going to see. The important part of this is these menu items here along the top is how we actually end up getting this information out to our constituency so that they can fill in the information and get it back to us. We can share it through social networking. Most of us are going to choose one of the other areas. So we're going to either choose to email this form to people who are interested in. So I'm going to send it to myself, so that you can all see exactly what it looks like when you fill in the information, and we can get an example of that. But beyond emailing to ourselves, which I'll show you the result of in just a few moments, we can also choose to embed this. This is really powerful. When we choose to embed the form, what happens is we get a little chunk of HTML code that we can put within a website and a web page so that this form appears on our web page. So if the theater club has a small little website, a little WordPress site, for example, they can embed that form within it. It's a very powerful and very useful way of building in forms. This is something that I do on my radio show on an ongoing basis. All of my contests are forms that are embedded in my radio on my show site that people fill in the information, and all of the information comes back to me exactly like we see here. Let me show you quickly how, or what it looks like as that email gets sent to individuals. So I'm going to just check my email here. There it is. I'm going to open up the email. Now you could have dressed the email up a little bit, but basically it's a link. This is exactly what it's going to look like to people who come and want to fill in the form. So when I open it up on the internet, there's the form that we just created. We created that in just a few seconds. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to put in my name, my homeroom. I'm interested in being an actor, of course. My availability is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I click submit. And then a little bit of magic happens as far as we're concerned. If we go back into our Google Drive account. When we enter the theater form now, when we click on the form, it doesn't come up looking like a form anymore, but instead it comes up looking like a spreadsheet, because this is where all of the data is. It is a spreadsheet now. All of the information has been entered into the spreadsheet, and we can see that all of the different headers are available, as well as the information that I filled in. So as more people fill it in, you'll quickly see all of the different people listed out here of the things that they selected. If we need to go in and edit the form at any point again, we just go in here and choose under the form tool now within the spreadsheet, choose edit form, and the form is brought up. And I see I actually made a mistake here when I created the radio button. Is I didn't allow all of the different buttons to be selected at the same time. So I'll have to make a slight modification so people can select more than one. I probably have to change that to check boxes, which I can see would be a much better way of doing things so that people can select multiple days. The Forms tool within Google Drive is a really powerform option. Educators, students can really get a lot out of using this for gathering information, gathering data. It's free. It works great on the internet. You can embed the forms within web pages on other websites. It's well worth checking out. On behalf of LearnNowBC, I'm Steve Dotto.